What's going on, guys? Yasukeh here. The earliest recorded gameplay you will ever find of me is going against the person who was considered the #1 consensus player at the time by far. And to this day, 6 years later, I have never matched up against somebody who is even a tenth of the player that this person was. I've played against a lot of people, and I've never felt so hopeless in my life as I was in this game playing against this person. Despite that, I killed this person 4 times. 4 times I killed the person who was the best player in the entire world at this point. I also, in that same game, solo dove Peanut under turret, who is a 3-time OGN champion, MSI winner, world finalist. I just completely destroyed them. And who is this best player, you might ask? This is a player who played in what was the best of 5 that has ever happened in really all of League of Legends history, which was the Rocks Tigers versus SKT at the Season 6 World Championship. Best series ever, and I played against him a little bit before this match happened. And who is that person, you might ask? It is Smeb. Smeb is somebody who was considered the best player by far. Rocks Tigers was the best team. He got MVP in the spring, MVP in the summer, won the summer, and his team played through him. No matter what kind of jungle assistance came, he was always able to still be the strongest person in the game. You threw a support at him, you threw a mid at him, you threw a jungle at him, he was still going to gap your top, he was still going to carry the game. And it was just the strongest kind of play that you've seen from players in really a lot of history. If you want to talk about peaks, Smeb in 2016 is really up there as one of the best peaks that a player has ever had. And I played against him, killed him 4 times. So we're going to go into the game, and we're just going to see how I killed Smeb 4 times. And just how outclassed it really is to play against some of these great players. So we're going to go from the beginning. Going right here. Starting lane. I'm trying to get Fury. I'm trying to do the little spin trick that you still do today. I considered Rumble a great matchup for me. Every other Rumble would walk to turret. He walks into River. Because of the way that I'm positioning in between him and his turret, he has to go down. Oh? I almost got that play right there. Oh. Right there, I was 1 RNG crit away from solo killing the best player in the world, level 1. If I get a crit right there, which I feel like I deserved that crit right there, I would have killed the best player in the world. And you know what that means? I'll let you decide what that means, killing the best player in the world. So, right there, it's a little bit unlucky. Now, all of a sudden, I have 4 CS to 12 CS. We'll see what else is going on in this lane. He's trying to get the push back so that he can get a safe back without losing too many CS. It's really amazing how much he was able to effectively CS without really kind of doing anything. And here's me, a cringe 18-year-old in chat. I'm trash, well played. You're a pretty good player. You might be able to get on a good challenger team. That's just me being just a typical 18-year-old. Thinking I'm so funny with that line. Which, I mean, it's not bad, it's not bad. Oh. Got a little bit of a gank coming. He doesn't have flash, so, that's just what happens. And this is something that happened to Smeb a lot, is, jungler playing around him. And so, that is the first kill that I have against the best player in the world. And so, rest of the lane is going to be going through here. He's going to be coming back top. I'm going to be looking to get it back. And the items built at this point were really kind of weird, looking back at it. You'd be rushing a static Shiv on Tryndamere. into a black cleaver into a Bork. Which really doesn't make a lot of sense on Tryndamere, but that was just the build that everybody went on Tryndamere. You got a lot of good armor pen. You didn't get full crit until a while, though, I believe. So he's getting a pretty big wave set up, so it wouldn't really be realistic for me to fight him, especially when I don't have Fury. And he also, since he started AP, he was able to get a Seeker's Arm Guard on his first back. Which makes it really hard for me to play against it. Because now all of a sudden, the threshold for me being able to kill is very hard. And this is also, keep in mind, during Season 6, when Dynamic Q existed. Which means that Smeb was able to 3-stack in solo queue. So he's playing with Peanut, his jungler. So I'm playing against the top jungle duo of what it might have been the best team at the time. And Cryan, or Cry, who was the sub for the team. So I'm going against 3/5 of an LCK Pro team. Or 2.5, you know, since one is a sub. I'm going against half of one of the best teams in the world right now. And everybody who influences my lane is there. So, just letting the wave get pushed. I'm not trying to take too much harass. I did start a pot to make sure that I don't randomly get dove right here. If you see that Peanut is hovering me, if I had taken too much harass right there, then Peanut would have just dove me. So that was still really good for me as the 18-year-old to just not fight when I'm not strong. Because since I know that I can't get a kill on him, there's no point in me trying to get a play right there. And then so, we'll see what's going on right here. My jungler is lurking. Right. All of the CS being behind is really all from the early parts of the game. He got a ward down. We'll see if that does anything. He's also placing a lane ward, just in case we try to push in and make the play there. And also to see if I'm trying to do any weird lane or herald plays. And I'm just trying to get the safe CS since I'm not 6. Not really much I can do right now. Oh. This is really hard because I'm 5. However, I just got my level 6 in the middle of that fight. Ooh. You see that right there is that even though that auto attack went off right there, he flashed at the perfect time. He flashed the instant that I flashed right there. Because you never want to flash before, and then I have flash and he doesn't. It's great timing, but the auto attack still went off. Because I just properly made it be right at the perfect time. And then so Peanut is coming top. I am 2-1 up against Smeb. We're leading in gold too. May not have more CS than him, but we'll see what goes on. I have my Zeal, which is pretty good. Zeal was a lot stronger back then. I think it was like 1,300 gold for Zeal. A lot more stats. Problem is that he has tier 2 boots. That means he's generally going to have more movement speed than me. And it's going to be pretty hard to maintain my distance onto him. And let's just see... Like, he's just walking up to me. And it's really hard to get any damage off of on him. I feel like now I might have been able to do a little bit more. But his spacing throughout this entire game is just amazing. Because, like, Rumble just wants to sit there in front of you while you're just out of range and you can't do damage. And just every time he's doing it perfectly. He's doing that. Yeah, no way he can die there. Rek'Sai is going some kind of like Titanic build. You see a lot of Rek'Sais go Assassin now, whereas Rek'Sai's previously went a little bit more tanky. When Rek'Sai got the ult changed to where it was no longer a global teleport, and it was the sort of like attack dive, that's when you saw a lot more lethality assassin style builds. Oh, that's not a gank that'll work. But yeah, Rek'Sai can't activate ult right there because that's not what the ult used to be. I feel like Dumbledoge referencing how in, I believe, Season 5 Worlds, Dumbledoge was a Turkish player who was a support who ended up getting a kill onto him. Oh. Oh. This is very reminiscent of a lot of LCK games. And see how he's just, like, he's perfectly kiting me. I'm never able to get into range. And then he's just standing there in between me and my turret, and I just can't do anything. He just solo killed both me and my jungler right there. And I felt so hopeless. I felt like there's nothing that I could have done right there. There was just absolutely nothing that I felt like I could have done right there. It's just perfect play. Like, it makes sense why Brock's Tigers played through top so much, and it made sense why they were so successful at doing it, because you cannot shut down Smeb. And then I'm trying to get a little bit of a proxy here. Just getting 1 CS. Don't really know why I did that. His jungler is coming over here, so they're seeing if they can get some kind of collapse onto me. I had to flash. Oh, I juked Peanut right there. Peanut is currently on the 2nd place team in LCK, Genji. We'll probably be 3rd place in the summer, because Damwon is getting back Nuguri. But we'll see. We'll see. That should be interesting to see. Oh yeah, and me barely surviving top lane. He's making all these teleport plays and is still just massively far ahead in XP. Yeah, this is the problem with all of this sort of 3 stacking that went on. Is that because you could queue up at any sort of level, if you were solo queue, you were heavily disadvantaged compared to playing against all of these stacked teams. What was I doing at this point? Like I was trying to get some play onto the jungler. Ideally, it would have been better for me to just stay top right there instead of trying to half commit right there. That's just sort of like optimizing your time. And all I want to do is just get that Shiv proc and then get out. Shiv also did have some pretty good magic damage burst, and I do believe it could crit at this point. So it was a good item to have. Lots and lots of damage. Made it to where the Zhonya's wasn't necessarily going to be as impactful. And this is also before League of Stopwatch, which was really annoying. I have ult and ignite here. I feel like I should be killing here. And he kited me out. I had spun just a little bit too much to the right, which made him just be able to walk to the left. A lot of players, to this day, would not punish that. And the thing about League in general is that things get better and better over time. In Season 2, the Insec Lee Sin kick was considered the peak of mechanics. Now any gold Lee Sin main can do it easily. And I stayed while I was low, and then Peanut was like, hey, I'm gonna come dive top lane. 14 minutes in, giving him his first kill participation. Because I stayed longer than I needed to. Gonna be pushing the wave in right now. I am gonna be going top. And you see me still building CDR boots. CDR boots now was the standard in Season 6. This was just the play that everybody took on Tryndamere. If you look at a lot of earlier Tryndamere videos, this was the build and it totally made sense. Alright, what am I trying to do right here? I'm going around, like, in their jungle in a really weird way. What am I doing here? Trying to go for a proxy? I'm trying to go for a play mid. Can only kind of see what's going on in the mini-map right now. I don't have an actual thing. Oh, I am fighting that. Looks like I'm going mid. Alright, we got to hook onto the Rise. Lee Sin kick the Blitz. Oh yeah, we got the shutdown on the Rise. That's really good. Oh. Trying to go all the way around, because I had to burn ults for that kill onto the Ryze. I missed that iteration of Ryze. I used to really like playing Ryze before I got that, CF ult. Light. And the thing about Shiv is that it also should make it easier for me to farm. And whereas, despite all of the deaths and all of the sort of roams that Smeb was doing, he still has really good CS. Whereas I have 95. I've been denied the wave, but it's still just insane, like the basics that these kind of players are good at. Trying to hide into this brush. Don't know why he goes in the second that I come. But, you know, hey, it happens. And I believe that is kill number 3 against Rox Smeb. Best player in the world. So yeah, I'm just going to be pushing out the wave, pushing top. He does have TP. Oh. 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 I see a Lee Sin without ult, under turret. When I'm a level ahead, let's just go kill him. Do we see the kill? No. But you can see that it happens. I didn't even burn flash either. Got away with 1 HP, but oh. Did not see that TP. Didn't see the TP, and then we died. And that's just what happens. But still, I solo dove the current second place LCK jungler, 3-time OGN champion, 1-time MSI winner, world finalist. You know, one thing that's crazy is that the last international tournament that Faker has won was when he was playing with Huni and Peanut. That's so strange to hear. Last international trophy was with Huni and Peanut. A meme before, like, last year was 5 Chinese can't win. Well, I mean, Faker can't win without Huni, so, you know. So, let's see this right here. I'm farming the bot wave. I'm looking for a play onto the Ryze right here. I get the play. I think I'm trying to get my spin back up. But I wasn't able to get that crit to get my spin back up, and even if I did, I don't think I would have gotten the kill anyway. Taking red buff, because Rumble is the carry here. That ward to this day is still pretty good, warding that side. I do have ults because of how much CDR that I've been building. Since before some ult nerfs. I was really slow to react to this. We saw this guy, and I did not turn until like 5 seconds earlier. We'll see. Nice. I'm not the one that got the kill. Unfortunately, it was Blitzcrank that got the kill. If I got that kill, then maybe it would have been a closer game. But, yeah. Me saying this statement. I honestly don't even know why I said that. This isn't Korean solo queue. Probably just like, hey, you can't do those silly strats here in NA. We punish these things. Which, it's kind of an interesting narrative, just seeing all of these NA and EU streamers going into Korea. Just how the Korean server actually is. It's not like they're better at everything. It's that they have the best hands by far. And the way that they play is to get them to have the best hands. And that is what leads to better pro players, is you can learn and teach macro. You cannot learn to teach hands. If you do not have hands, if you do not have mechanics, you will never be a top pro. Whereas somebody like Chovy was a master tier player who was a Cassiopeia one trick, who had no concept of any macro at all. He was just a mechanical god. And his coach saw, hey, this guy is really, really good mechanically, but he doesn't know anything about back timings anything about waves. He just out-mechanics people. So then all of a sudden, that player became Chovy, who a lot of people consider the best laning mid laner, if not at times the best laner, or the best mid laner in the world. That's a little bit more contested. That's not as clear-cut as Smeb being the #1 player in the world. As an example, Peanut trying to destroy the raid boss Yasu bro. We're getting killed right there. Ooh, that 3-man stun didn't really do much. That is a very large range Realm Warp. That's definitely pre-nerf. It's crazy how it's been 6 years of this iteration of Rise, where that's a thing. And that was a flash. Not a lot of damage. You see how slow these games actually are compared to pre-durability patch current League? So, like, people do not die instantly. Like, that Lee Sin is taking so much damage. And isn't even building tank. And that's sad, taking that. Dying to the Ezreal ult. It's also, like, no objectives up. There was no concept of a Dragon Soul. So, teams would just kind of do this as an objective. Group up as 5 on a turret and try to take that. Whereas if you're trying to advance a game forward, it's not super common to just go as 5 and push the wave in when you have Soul or Baron as possibilities. Especially since the objectives just go down so quickly. He's going here. Yeah, I've got my Cutlass, which is a little slow. It has a little slow on it. So it might make it a little bit easier for me to sort of chase these kills down. And I see, oh hey, there are 2 people there. Maybe we can get some kind of play there. But, yeah, looks like I'm just getting caught here. I waited right there for the Lee Q to go over so that he doesn't follow. If I Q earlier, then the Lee Sin Q follows. That's a pretty good mechanical play. I am 2 levels down right now, but I have 3 kills onto Smeb and 1 kill on Peanut. And a kill onto Cry, you know? I've killed 2.5 of the Rocks Tigers of 2016 members. Okay, alright, yeah. And they're just taking their massively fed Rumble, who has 3 items, 2 of which being the strongest damage items in the game, Void Staff and Rabadons, and just flanking and killing my entire team. That's nice. Look at me, I'm farming top lane. I'm trying to contest Baron right now instead of going for the wave. This is a general problem that I don't do anymore. But you still see NA teams doing it. Which is where they... Yeah, I just didn't get anything right there. Sad. Which is where, when they know that there's no way they can contest an objective, they'll still go to, like, kind of contest it. Instead of, what I could have done is I could have farmed the Gromp, I could have farmed the top wave, I could have done so much more right there. But instead, what I chose to do is go to Baron and die for no reason. There is another dragon coming up. Is an Ocean. But Oceans didn't really mean the same thing as they did before. Going for that play. I'm looking to see what kind of kills that I can get right now. We did get Peanut. And I got the assist there. And I just killed the mid laner, too. And then I'm just trying to get out. I see that they are kind of coming for me. And the entire area is also warded, so I see that I am being hunted down. Hunted down viciously. Yep, there's another ward right there. So I'm just trying to get a really safe recall right here. I don't want to give up any random kills that I don't need to. Like, yeah, he just pink warded that brush. If I tried to back right there, I'd be dead so hard right now. And the Rylai's tier right now just makes it impossible for me to ever stick on this champ. Not only does he have 500... Okay, no. 415 movement speed. It's just really, really hard for me to ever get anything on this. And I'm 3 levels behind. And this is also when turrets were a laser beam. That was... This is one of the least favorite things that I've ever seen in League. There's also a lot of champions could just straight up tank that forever. I don't even understand why that was a thing, honestly. It seemed like one of those changes just to make a change. This one she could hold 2 of those. Blitzcrank getting the peanuts. They're going aggro. He's getting a kill right there. I am just mid lane, farming the wave. Doing what I can. It's not really a lot that I can get done right here. I'm backing off. I'm just trying to play safe. So crazy how little turret damage that does. If it wasn't for Rumble being so fed, relative to the rest of the game state, I'm not in too bad of a spot. I have my 3 item spike, which is generally at the point where you always feel like, hey, I'm strong. Especially during here. Tons of CDR, tons of stick, tons of magic damage, penetration. I should feel strong. And then Smeb is in the game. So it's a little bit difficult. It is a little bit difficult. And we're just farming up some of the wave. And yeah, he's taking red. I'm looking for a play. Didn't get anything. It really looks like I just kind of got caught right there. Because none of them are low in Ibrindle. Probably got CC'd by a Morg Binding or something. Yeah, this game is from 2016. 6 years ago. Oh. Alright, alright. And so I only have 3 kills on Smeb. So there is, like I said earlier, going to be a 4th one. But yeah, I've just never felt like I played against a player this good before. To this day, the kind of like mechanics, that flash at level 1, which we'll go over again. That flash at level 1, just perfect mechanics. No player ever really does that kind of stuff. That, I feel like it wasn't any kind of prediction, it was just, got it. Oh. Got the kill, let's go. Almost got another kill on Peanut. Didn't quite make it so. Yeah, aside from Smeb, the best player that I've ever played against, especially in the mid lane, is Froggen. Froggen is just the best person that I've ever seen at pressuring a lane. He just always got tons and tons and tons of, he would always force every single CS. Every single CS was a game of Froggen saying, you are not going to get this CS unless you work for it. I am going to punish you for every single CS you take. And he was really, really good at doing that. And I think that Froggen still, to this day, could probably make it as a top 10 EU or top 10 NA mid laner. I think he's still really good. The problems with Froggen and his entire career as a player were just that he never really did a lot to try to get himself on good teams, and he kind of got like screwed over by at least Echo Fox at a time. There could have been a roster with, I believe it would have been Huni, Dardoch, and Froggen. But then they kicked Froggen for Phoenix, who was a 10th of the player that Froggen was. That was really interesting. But yeah, so back to this right here. I have flash up, he has flash up. I have... I try to get the next crit auto right there. The second I flash, he flashes. Because I had Ignite, if I just got that auto off, then I would have killed him right there. But his reaction was literally pixel perfect. Like, he knew exactly the time that I was going to flash, and then he did it instantly. It felt reactive as opposed to predictive. Like, look at this right here. Just listen to the sound between the flashes. It was literally at the exact same time that I flashed. That's just amazing. I still never see that to this day. And keep in mind, this is him playing on 60 ping. When he's never played on 60 ping before in his life. So, this is just amazing stuff that I've never seen replicated to this day. And Smeb, the best... it could be argued that he has one of the best peaks of all players ever, especially at this tournament. And this tournament, 2016, is the biggest argument that you could possibly give for having a double elimination bracket in Worlds. We had the most competitive series of 5 games of SKT versus Rox right here. Mega close series. Imagine if we could see the repeat of this in the finals. Because seeing the repeat of this in the finals could have meant that Smeb has a Worlds title and Faker doesn't have 3. That would have been amazing to see. And that's just a little bit unfortunate that that works out that way. But yeah, this is me in the earliest recorded gameplay that we ever have of me. Playing against the best player in the world, killing him 4 times. See you guys all in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye and good night. Yeet.